All right, just checking, making sure everything was good with the with the sound. All right. Shalom laha alahayim. Peace to the gods. Nawathan kal halaliam la Yahweh bahasham Yahweh Shai bahasham racha hakodash. Giving all praises to Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors unto the elder apostles, the elder bishops, and the head elders of all the camps of Great Millstone GMS who do well, who have learned this 100% truth from. Salutations to the house of David, the predestined spirits of election, scattered abroad. It's your brother Tazapanya, back at it again with a quick hit. Current events, spiritual commentary through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, I don't want to write this out. This is edifying to the elect. Let's get right into it. As you can see here on your screen on the end time headlines, I'm going to go through a couple of articles and then we're going to get some scriptures. All right. It says, New York ramps up social media surveillance over surging, as you can see that word. All right. I ain't going to say it. Don't want to get this taken down. All right. Notice in the background, they got the, your little cameras and all of that with this sheetamite. All right. I'm just going to read a little quick. New York Governor Kathy Hochul announced Monday her state has ramped up social media surveillance efforts in response to increased, in the Big Apple. So notice, there's a reason why which YouTube is social media, all right, but we've been given orders to keep this truth strictly pretty much on YouTube. Some brothers is on Rumble, Odyssey, all right, but your video streaming type services, man, all right. There's really no point to be pushing this truth on Facebook, Instagram. Some brothers is on TikTok, but TikTok is also a streaming service. But the point that I'm making here is that everything that you have on social media, you're going to be using artificial intelligent algorithms, all right, for keywords, man, just like how they do on YouTube. So it's really no different. But the point being is, just like the title of this quick hit, all right, these end time prophecies, right, is speeding up, is approaching very rapidly. Okay. So just like how a lot of the elders and things of that nature have been doing videos on getting our spirit prepared to separate from Egypt, they're gonna be coming at us, man. Okay. So and notice why New York? Because all the states follow New York City. I think there was one in North Dakota where they already had a bill that was passed. See, a lot of times brothers bring up bills, but it wasn't passed yet. It was just brought to their, whether it be the local House of Representatives, to see if they want to pass the bill or not. But there's bills are already out there, all right, regarding, having that what word, all right, and who's the ones who's going to be have their head plastered, or public enemy number one, regarding what they call this, all right, because you got to remember, we are the sons of Shem as well. Yes, they are, but they are Shemite, Hebrew, Edomites, okay, Amalekites. We are Shemite, Hebrew, Israelites of the respective tribes, okay, and the tribe of Judah being the so-called American Negro, all right, and wherever else his seed is scattered, okay. But they're basically saying that because of these pro-Palestine rallies that has been taking place all over NYC, all right, that there's a large scale of them trying to tear down, U.S. and UN flags. All right, so they're trying to basically collect data. See, we're very focused on the data we're collecting from surveillance effort, and this is what this whole thing is about: surveillance. Because throughout mass surveillance, It's it's control. All right. When you surveil something, all right, you are opening the veil. You are revealing it. Okay. And matter of fact, let me look up that word surveillance of the etymology. I just got curious. Let's look that up. Surveil. All right. Surveillance is a noun, 1802. Oversight, supervision. All right. So notice when you at the job, right? You have a what? A supervisor over you. You see? So the basic surveillance is basically, that's why they call it, they have the TV show Big Brother. Somebody who's watching over you, that has some type of authority over you, right? It says a watch, noun of action, a surveiller, oversee. Wow, what does that go back to? Overseer, which goes back to what? This the slave master. You see, from sir, so sir means over, and vela means to watch or watchful, comes from the Latin vigil, like to be vigilant. You see, so it literally means overwatcher or overseer, where you get the word officer, like the KRS-One, officer, officer, overseer, overseer, right? But so boom, all right, that's what they're trying to do, which is basically them trying to be like the Most High, as it says in the book of, let's go get that real quick. The phone might be a little bit quicker. Be like, um, let's type. Is it God? Is it Isaiah 14 or is it? Yeah, let's go. Let's go to Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14 and 14. It says, I'll read in the NLT. It says, I will climb to the highest heavens and be like the Most High. So notice, heaven is symbolic for rulership. You see, so they want to be known as the highest, the most supreme kingdom that has ever history has ever seen, man. They want to have the most control, the most rulership that any other rulership has had. This is why in Daniel's vision, all right, the fourth beast was like a beast like no other. Matter of fact, let's go to that real quick. Daniel, what is that? Daniel 2 or Daniel 3? Let's go to Daniel 3. Um, Let me just type it in. Daniel 7, Salakia, Daniel 7. This is Daniel 7 and 7. And it reads, After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, which is the Roman Empire, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly. And it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns, okay, which goes into your 10 power structures, which eventually in modern day times would be your EU, okay, which started off as the EEC, the European Economic Commission, okay, which started off with 10 countries in Europe, which was pretty much 12, because two of them being on the Iberian Peninsula, Spain and Portugal, which is pretty much one kingdom, and then I think it was Ireland and the United King and Britain, which is the UK, one kingdom as well. All right, but the point being that it was completely different than the rest. All right, so going back to Isaiah 14, and this revived ancient Roman Empire ruled by these international banking families with their headquarters, so to speak, being in the sides of the north, as Isaiah 14 talks about, which is North America, Babylon the Great. Okay, so I'm pretty much uh, done when it comes to this article. I'm going to continue on, but the famine of the word is coming. So, hence, the end time prophecies coming rapidly. All right, because these things is going to happen very quickly. As we can see, we're only in the third month, all right, of the so-called New Year, which we're actually in the New Year now, as we're preparing for the 14th day of the first month, which shall be unto you, all right, which is of the month of Abib, which is the Passover happening on the, the second Shabbat, okay, and you all of these talks is already here: civil war, rumors of wars, um, banking failures, um, supply chain type crises, famine of actual food, famine of the word, more mo Salakia, more MOTB talks, things of that nature. All right. So real quick, let's get the famine of the word precept in Amos. All right. This is the book of Amos, chapter 8 and 11, and it reads, Behold, the days come, future prophecy, saith the Lord God, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. You see? So the Most High is going to remove his words of the Lord, which is removing his prophets, because his prophets are the ones that have the words of the Lord. All right, Amos 3 and 7, right? The Lord God will do nothing, which would be pretty much bringing judgment on this place, except he revealeth his secrets, this truth, this wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding, all right, unto his servants, the prophets. All right, but the scriptures also say that what? Um, this is the book of Amos. So look, it's all up and down Amos. Amos chapter 5 and 13. Therefore, the prudent shall keep silence in that time. All right, what time are we talking about? Modern day? Jacob's trouble, a time of trouble, a time of tribulation. It says, for it is an evil time. Evil is a compound word, even ill, eve meaning time, ill meaning bad. It's going to be a bad time that has never happened before. Okay, Daniel 12, all right, Matthew 24, so on and so forth, Jeremiah 30 and 7. All right. So what is the prudent? That's a wise man that is able to foresee things through the spirit. All right. Proverbs 22 and 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. All right. So we're seeing the evil because we know who it's coming from. It's coming from the king of terrors, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Okay. So now we're going to move on to the next article because eventually there's going to be a great insurrection. All right. Let's go get that in the before we move on. All right. That those that fear the Lord, insurrection. Second Ezra 16 and 70, it says, For there shall be in every place and in the next cities. How is it going to be in every place? Because of the surveillance that is going to increase all over, man. All right. That's why they got these cameras. They want to be like the Most High because the Most High is omnipresent. He's everywhere, man. All right. So he sees everything. And they want to be just like that through their beast technology. Okay. Hence why the climax is going to be the RFID hip, right? Because then they can control and see everything that you do, financially speaking, because you have to uh, uh, um, buy and sell things to stay, to take care of your family, take care of yourself. It says a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. You see, because if fear in the Lord, you're going to do what he says. The whole duty of man, what is it? To fear the Most High and keep his commandments. What did Yahweh Shai command his disciples? To feed his sheep and to spread this gospel into all tongues, nations, abroad, all the Israelites, wherever they may be. All right. And part of that is that great controversy of Zion. Okay. Who's who? Okay. Because in Baruch, it says that we will remember ourselves in our captivities. You see? So we are saying that we are the people and they're not the people. And that's going to be called according to them. And the enemy going to come like a flood, before, well, it's going to be physically. You see what I'm saying? But it's also going to be just like, let me pull it up. I learned this from the brother, um, is it Gabar Awar out there in Rochester? All right. In Revelation 13, when we go to Verse 15, it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, which is basically the new world order. It is the making of the system that the ancient Roman Empire had, but it's now revived. Its military and its political system of full control over everything. All right, so they gave power to it, okay, by creating this NATO and this EU. All right, it says that the image of the beast should both speak, all right, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So when we go to that word killed in the Greek, all right, Salakia, why did it do that? It is aktino, okay, to kill in any way whatsoever, right? But the root word is apo, which means of separation, you see? A local separation, a separation of a part from the whole. All right, a state of separation that is of distance. So they're going to try to separate you, all right, if you don't want to worship the image of the beast. A part of that worshiping the image of the beast is cooperating and participating and defending those that rule, all right, this beast system, which would be Edomites, that Edomite supremacy, starting with the tribe, the head tribe, the chief tribe of Amalek. All right, because if you call out Amalek for his evil doings, as well as any, Esau, all right, they're gonna come at you, man. They're gonna try to separate you from their system. All right. But watch this, right? In the same time as that's happening, right? This is on RT. The US threatens European Union Bank with sanctions. This is coming from their own media, man. All right. This thing is so notice the EU is the 10 horns, all right, that is on the beast, man. All right. So what do you think sanctions is going to do to a country that you're supposed to be having allies with? All right. This is what it's going to do. Let's go to the book of Revelation 17 and 16, and it says, and the 10 horns, which is the EU, which thou sawest upon the beast, the which is pretty much NATO. All right. It says, thee shall hate the whore. Who's the whore? Babylon the Great. All right, the mother of all harlots. It says, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her with flesh and burn her with fire. So this is metaphorical to the European Union, which is supposed to be having allies with their with America. And part of that reason, because in Daniel, it talks about how he is more stout than his fellows. Who is that talking about? The American Edomite. Because American Edomite has a higher pride than their counterpart European Edomites. Okay. But these European Edomites is going to say, yo, you're making our life hard. And whatever happens, but this seems to be part of it too. You putting sanctions on us when we supposed to be together, right? And what are they doing? They're eventually something is going to be the straw on the camel's back, where they're going to use their missiles that they've signed treaties under NATO, all right, to only use towards enemies of NATO, and they're going to use it on a member of NATO, which is America. This is what that's talking about. So the European Edomites is going to help participate in the downfall of the American Edomites and turn America into a lake of fire. Okay, why is this happening? We're going to read a little bit. It says Austria's Raiffeisenbank International, the biggest foreign lender in Russia, risks being cut off from the U.S. financial system. You see that? So that's showing you again an example of you not wanting to worship the image of the beast. Okay, which which is funny because part of the beast don't even want to worship its own ideologies. All right, which is allowing America to run things the way they want to run things, even if it means downgrading your life, for the Austrian citizens. All right, but they're risk being cut off to be separated. Apo, the root word of the apatio, or whatever that word was for killed, man. You see, so the fact that um here, let's keep, as part of Washington's renewed push on sanctions, it would encourage Austrian banks to examine their Russian exposure and take mitigation measures. You see, so the fact that they're doing business with Russia, America is like, yo, listen, we're gonna put sanctions on you. These are the type of things, that is going to continuously increase the animosity of the beast towards the whore. You see that? So we're seeing more and more prophecies coming to pass rapidly. All right, let's continue moving on. BRICS, this came out today too. All these came out today. Well, nah, this was on the 5th. Today is definitely not the 5th. Today's the 11th of March. But it says BRICS to create blockchain-based payment system. A Putin aide says. You see, so this is just like in the Cold War, right? And in the space war. You know, the Soviet Union surpassed in technology. America was like, nah, we're going to surpass you in technology. So if they're creating blockchain-based payment system, what do you think the Americans going to do? Because they don't want this Eastern financial bloc to surpass them. That means America is going to be pushing out a blockchain-based payment system. All right, quicker than BRICS is going to do it. All right, because they want to remain that westernized. Um, what is it? um, rulership, dominance. Okay, and we all know that central bank digital currencies is going to come. It's going to be used with UBI. It's going to be used with the digital ID. It's going to be used with the various things that tools, applications that will be upon the MOTB, which is the RFID chip, whether in your hand or in your head. All right. Um, I'll just read this real quick right here. It says, we believe that an important goal for the future is the creation within the BRICS framework of an independent settlement payment system that would be based on the most modern technologies, such as digital currencies and blockchain. Notice they said digital currencies. All right. They didn't say cryptocurrencies because it's going to be centralized, not decentralized. Cryptos are decentralized. Okay. They cannot have uh, more than 1/3 of the world's population in a treaty and business together. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, plus Saudi Arabia and others, and not have it be regulated by the higher ups. All right. So just know, in the spirit, the Lord is having them go against each other, but yet still racing towards that same goal of evil left-handed world dominance. All right. But remember, it is the mark of the beast, okay, not the mark of the bricks. Okay. So knowing that Russia is not part of the beast is going to be the downfall of the beast. This type of is going to put a battery in Babylon's back to try to be the front runners of this new digitalized beast system and to have a monopoly over it. You know, um, it says Ushakov stated it would be comfortable for any state person in business and would not require significant costs. So on and so on. So boom. You know what I'm saying? But now notice that who's the one that came out with this? The Putin aid, which is Russia, right? Now, Russians are Edomites. Okay. Russians are Edomites. And if they're the ones spearheading the BRICS financial bloc, all right, they're part of the same house of Esau Edom. This is Mark 3 and 25. It says, and if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. You see? So you got, Russian Edomites going against American Edomites on who's going to be the top kingdom in the New World Order. All right. And America's trying not to give that up. all right, because you have sections and families of the international banking families that know they all have the same God complex, right? So they all want to feel to be omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent, all right? But then they have disagreeing ways on how to go about it, because one of the things that the Rothschilds would do, that they would intermarry with certain leaders in different countries, all right, and establish their sons and their daughters up in strategic industries and things of that nature in order to keep it in the family. But then these people are raised up in different cultures and different ideologies, so they all want that same outcome, but the way I'm going about that outcome is disagreed upon, and now you have infighting. Okay, and that's this is why Yahweh Shai was sent to die for the sins of Israel, just like it says, what is that in Ephesians, the middle wall of partition between the two, the Judeans and the Israelite foreigners, all right? Because you can't have the kingdom of heaven, talking about the Israelites here, if you have the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, or Israelites born in the land know who they are versus Israelites born outside the land and don't know who they are. They all have to be on one accord. Can a man be together, walk together, if they're not agreed? Roughly paraphrasing. You see, so the Most High put in the spirit upon them to go against each other. Hence why that fourth beat, the toes, in Nebuchadnezzar's dream, when Daniel interpreted, was of iron and clay, all right, going into strong financial countries and weak financial countries. But the strong financial countries don't want to overcompensate for the weak ones, even though they're all part of it. This is why you had Brexit, all right? This is why, and so on and so forth, man. All right. So last one, and this one is just an opinion piece, and I liked it because they used this mental health word. This came out March 1st. It says schizophrenic world order. Okay. So notice they're trying to make a play on the end of right? But instead of the new, they put schizo. All right. It says the West is willing to destroy its financial system to punish Russia. You see, and that's all of the Lord, man. You see what I'm saying? They're willing to, and look at this, right? And Russia's able to do the same thing, but on a nuclear side. Russia's like, listen, if Russia cannot survive the westernized world order without being independent of itself, without America trying to control it, then they said that they would suicide itself, basically. So they would start nuclear war, strike first, and knowing the outcome and the consequences, they're willing to go through that. You see what I'm saying? So if a new world order can't have an independent Russia, you feel me? They will. So this is how you know they're both Edomites. And I'm gonna end off with this scripture right here in the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and 22. All right. And it reads, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. See, so for the elect, for the men that is putting in the work, those that have been blotted out of their transgressions, all right, those that have the sure mercies of David, for their sake, nobody else's. All right, these days going to be shortened. Why? Because if Esau Edom continues to rule, he's going to kill everybody. You see what I'm saying? Doesn't matter if Russia was going to be, the next Babylon, even though, and I'm just using this as a hypothetical sense because we know the prophecies. But if Russia was to overtake, you know, Babylon's dominance in the earth as how Babylon's dominance is right now, the same thing would happen. You see what I'm saying? People would try to, they have the same, they're the wicked, all right? They're Edomites, man. You know, you let America rule, no flesh gonna be saved. You let any of these Edomites rule, no flesh is gonna be saved, man. All right, and none of these heathen nations either, too. have the blessing, from the Lord to rule the whole earth. They don't even have the capacity, the mental capacity to do it. Neither do these Edomites. However, they got all that they got through the sword, which was the blessing of the Lord. You see what I'm saying? By the sword thou shalt live. You see, and that's how they got the fatness of the earth. So just to finish up, I'm gonna read one paragraph off of this. All right, it reads right here. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has become the latest to add to her voice to the growing chorus of Western officials calling for the seizure of Russia's 300 billion in frozen foreign exchange reserves for the benefit of Ukraine. This comes after the UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak penned an op-ed over the weekend in which he called for the West to be bolder in moving towards confiscating assets, basically sanctions and shit like that. Notwithstanding the reticence being displayed in some quarters of Europe, and various admonitions that such an action would both be blatantly illegal and also detrimental to the integrity of the financial system, the idea seems to be taking on a momentum of its own, particularly in Washington and London, which is actually 2 out of the 3 unclean spirits as frogs spoken of in Revelation, the city states. All right, Washington being your military sector and financial sector. But the point is, schizophrenic is two opposing voices, man. You see what I'm saying? It's damn near similar, to bipolar. You know what I'm saying? You got a voice within your head. You want to do one thing, but the voice telling you the other. You see what I'm saying? So this is what the world order is looking like. One sort of people want to do this thing, but the house divided against itself cannot stand. All right. So as we come in more and more into 2024, the hopeful year, Jacob's trouble, we're seeing Jacob's trouble. The climax of it is fastly approaching. The famine of the word is fastly approaching, and pushing the MOTB is fastly approaching. After that MOTB, we know that the missiles is going to fly. You see what I'm saying? Yahweh Shah is going to deliver his elect. Lord willing, we have that number. So without further ado, man, Lord willing, I was edifying to the elect. With that, I'm going to say, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Kohalo Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, Kwam Yasharala Baba Bo, Shalom. On to the next one.